Hello. Hopefully
Hello.
Alex didn't just talk through that whole intro about his pairings, but I had his microphone off. So hopefully. Welcome, Alex, back, 2023.
Hello. It's been so long.
I know, haven't seen you all year.
I know it's brand new year, new me, new internet.
New internet, you say? Boom! Miracles do happen. Alex got a Christmas gift. Look at that.
It's funny,
900 megabyte speed download.
900 thing last time we checked it was like a 20 was our
Yeah.
previous one before 20 to 900.
Big difference. What did you do? Tell the people. Everyone's been wanting to know. They've been on the edge of their seat.
I plugged the computer in to the router. I bought a 50-foot cable.
Yep. It goes
All
through
the
the
way
whole house.
the whole house to go to the router.
Well, congratulations. Welcome to 2023, the world of new internet where nothing will get dropped. Too
I
funny.
should open up the chat so I can see what people say.
We got Damien and Darren. Two.
The double D's.
I wasn't going to say it, but you did. Welcome. So glad that, yep, there you go. Episode 103. A third D, Devin, as well. That's
Triple Ds.
apparently that's our clientele, our target market. People that start with D, and Kev from Australia.
Yep.
Morning, Kevin. This is the end of Internet Watch. Everyone here, I've enjoyed the ride. I wasn't sure how it was going to play out, but I'm glad that we've gotten here to this point.
Hey, just wait till somebody trips on the cord and breaks it.
We're now on When Does the Internet Die Watch. Actually made it for one. Nice. Congrats. Welcome.
This is a juicy one. We've loaded it with a lot of stuff.
So much stuff that we need to get on. So, goodbye, Internet Watch. Welcome, Alex, to real-time upload speeds that almost everyone has had for years. All right.
Have you played any games recently? Let's get gameplay out of the way.
Have I played any games recently? I have been playing some draft on the Monday night drafts.
Nice.
Through the Discord, the Genesis Discord. But no, I haven't actually been playing anything in person. I'm not sure if you're aware. Steve-O's had a bit of a water damage issue, so I think he's able to open up now to a few people. So hopefully we'll be back out there soon. But holidays and New Year and getting everybody back into school. So I really haven't played outside of the drafts. However, I am looking forward to the Tavern Brawlers event. How about you?
Nice.
What have you been playing?
So I played Alta this last weekend. I went 2 wins and a draw, which meant I didn't end up playing in the finals. So Steven, I didn't even face the person who won the event.
Wow.
I had a very funny matchup in my second game. I was facing Shockwave. Shockwave was down.
Oh.
And it's actually a very heavy summoner Alta deck.
Okay.
But it runs Electro Pheromones. About 6 of them in the deck.
Right.
My starting hand
All 6
was four of them. And 0 summons. He was playing a Tashir Purifying Wave deck. With also Aura Purges in the main board.
Wow.
So in that first game,
I think that was his championship deck.
it was a championship deck with I think some small tweaks. So in the first game, he saw me play 0 dedicated studies. He saw me play 0 summons, sideboarded them all out. And then game 2, I went wing delay.
But if you won,
studies.
if you win the first game, you're not supposed to sideboard. Even I've been told this.
Oh, I won the first game because he got Electro Pheromone to death.
Jeez.
I dropped an electric pillar and my Electro Pheromones were doing 7 damage each.
There you go. Breaking the game one step at a time, right, Alex?
Oh.
Shout out to Shockwave, one of our content creators who does some work. He does a lot of stuff on the market side, and is becoming he's catching up to me with the collection too. So he's going to be taking down Steve-O next, I think, as he builds up his supply. hold on to your seats. A little bit more about collecting coming soon. It was unfair, Alex. That's usually the sentiment when we play Alex. It's usually is like, okay, like I'll sit down with the deck and he'll just like, no word of a lie, the hardest of hard counters to exactly what I'm trying to do, especially in Future League. And in Future League, you can do almost anything you want. And it's like, how did you? I built this deck 15 minutes ago. How did you counter it?
Oh.
Definitely understand that it was unfair, Alex.
Speaking of Future League's been busy too, because we have pitch contest cards rolling in. Have you pitched any cards yet, Will?
Have I? No.
What are you doing? Slacking.
I've pitched a bunch, and then someone's like, "Oh, you're pitching too much. Oh, your cards suck."
There's a set rule this time. You can pitch one a day. There's never well, there'll be too much if you start pitching 2 a day.
Yeah, I should probably I got a few things in my back pocket. Something I could think of. Should we go through the cards that have been pitched?
Yeah, let's talk about some pitch. Darren's yelling pitch, pitch, pitch. Maybe they're bringing out the pitchfork. I don't know.
I have to remember which one it is.
You're gonna have to tell me what you're looking at because I watching Zoom.
You're what? You're watching Zoom?
Well, I'm in the meeting.
All right. January 10th. Here we go. Make sure I did this right. First one, Commanding Heights, 6 chi. What type
5 chi.
Oh, 5 chi, 6 health. We have almost all around, but we're missing back left, back right as the awareness. It is an alteration. It is a build, action, 10 aura with the continuous Commanding Heights. Champions on the same spot as Commanding Heights have Commanding Heights awareness, or has Commanding Heights awareness.
This is not a me card. I don't see myself playing, but there is a huge Future League group that think gaining awareness is the most broken thing in the world. And I've never experienced that.
All right, so some context. We have another card in Future League right now that gives you a front awareness, and that basically changes your awareness to that one. So, we have Kareen that's able to change her, their awareness to whatever summon or spell that they discard. But with I Am a Dragon is a Future League card, and Commanding Heights, these are changing the awareness permanently for any champion. Now, this is an alteration. The other one is a skill enchantment you put on you. But yeah, it does affect some things because we do have not a lot of champions, but one in particular, right? I think the main one that everyone is concerned with is Kato, because Kato can force something in its awareness to a spot adjacent to it.
Yeah.
Right? So by having more awareness spots and having that force, which we know is Force Warp, which is a fantastic ability, you can do some real nutty controlling type things in that situation. Other than that, I don't think we have anyone other than Raha who has an area attack.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to really utilize that here. And that's one thing actually I'd like to push when I'm for people thinking about planning cards. Who is this card for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I when looking at Commanding Heights right now, who would play this? I don't think there's many that would.
I see this as someone who, maybe you want to put this down when you're surrounded and you want to be able to have some options, or you don't like, maybe the person pitching this doesn't like getting teleported or rain living shadows to the back of them. I would say maybe just don't leave your back open. if possible. Maybe it's not possible.
They're just really afraid of dense fog. That's the real answer.
Dense fog.
It's the dense fog's protection.
But then you can't get off of it though.
You don't need to get off of it. You're just gonna sit down, bunker down.
It is interesting. I think the one thing to take away from this, the positive thing, is that they're looking at the awareness and how do we play with the awareness in this game, or what can we do with that? So, all right, next we have Defense Grid. 8 health, 4 chi. What is this? Quicksand? Defense Grid, alteration, build. 2 alterations back to back. Interesting.
In case Will doesn't know, you can only pitch alterations right now.
All right, there you go. Did
It
not
is
know
Alteration
that.
Week.
I
Each week has its own
clearly,
theme.
I clearly have not read into this and have not done anything yet. Thank you. Awesome.
You're welcome.
I've learned something tonight from you, Alex. The more you know. Build 15 aura. Okay, continuous damage resistance 1. Everything else. Okay, not you, but everything else on damage defense grid.
So not defense grid.
Okay, everything but defense grid has damage
Yeah.
resistance. And then also indirect damage resistance. Everything around defense grid has indirect damage resistance. So I'm already confused. I can only imagine if you had 3 or 4 of these. What, like, what's being stopped and what's being not, and no, I get it. I like it. Giving damage resistance, I think there's something to be said here. There's a lot of big spells, summons can come at you. Do you attack this? Do you work through the damage resistance? We've seen what's their face?
What's her face?
Iblis, right? And some of the things that they are able to do with that damage resistance. Again, it's a build, so you're on there. You can't really plan ahead. You're sort of getting in position and doing this, or maybe you're just turtling in the corner while you're summoning.
I feel like this is more of a bunker down card, because if you're going to be playing it if you're playing it just for the damage resistance, you're going to play the Swift one that currently exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
The advantage here is that it gets to push out some extra protection against AoEs to your allies around you. That's where I see it. But I don't know. My question for this is it too slow when you start thinking about the...
There you go. We have Okami in the chat being, I would like to try this on Iblis. Would like to see something like this as an enchantment, as an additional. Being able to move around with it. Interesting.
I would agree, especially because we already have this type of effect in enchantment form. That might be better to see this type of effect as enchantments.
Yeah, because I don't think there's any benefit right now to building, like there's no benefit to building a fortress or building a pile up, right? Because, some of our top don't care. Like Idris is just going to fireball over top. Now, this could shut down Idris' ability, so she can't do that. That's maybe a positive. Or, you're going to get surrounded by summons, or Kuhn's going to fly in, or the angels are going to come over, right? Like these are some of the things that we're dealing with.
Well, other weakness is, and I actually told this to the designer, that as soon as the enemy gets in around this defense grid, they also gain that indirect damage resistance. Because they originally did have allies on this game thing, and I had to tell them, hey, alterations don't have allies, unfortunately.
It's not their fault. That's just the way the game works. Defense grid.
It's just the way they are. A wall does not care who you are. You can stand behind a wall.
But does a heavy pillar care?
This one I love. I think this one's very fun. Right, it's a nice adjustment on the pillar world.
5 chi, 6 health. It's a heavy pillar. 11 aura. Execute. When heavy pillar enters the arena, it deals 1 damage to everything else on its spot. So just bring it down. Boom, 1 damage. Everything on or adjacent to heavy pillar. Everything on or adjacent to heavy pillar. Everything without heavy weakness has heavy weakness. Bit of grammar there, but
yeah, there's different grammar, but that's okay.
Heavy brand, so giving some benefit to having the heavy attack. This is something we haven't seen. Heavy was sort of a thing for a bit, then there seemed to be sort of a shift to Swift, and everyone loved the Swift abilities, and then heavy was really meant for more bigger things or AoEs. I kind of like this one. Like, I think you're right. Like bringing some benefit to the heavy. It says AP in the bottom, so maybe that's Alex's pseudonym.
I definitely don't have a P in my name, though.
But yeah, so heavy weakness. This is interesting too. I think this is interesting that we haven't seen a Swift weakness might be.
I don't think we'll see a Swift weakness. But I also like it's the pillar. We've seen pillar before, but it also has a little bit extra in the middle as well for weird cases. It's that little bit of extra damage.
Definitely makes heavy worth playing. I've always said there's some great heavy summons out there that I would definitely love to see this. have the heavy deck. Yes, it would do 2 damage on entry.
Yeah.
Because continuous happen anywhere and anytime in the game.
Yes.
All right. Heavy pillar for the win. Shearing winds. Get my S's across the microphones. Shearing winds. Another trap. We have 5 health on this one. Just lots of health on these traps.
Lots of health.
We've seen what happens when you have high health traps. Woo!
What's the healthiest trap? What's the healthiest trap that's played?
3, isn't it?
Is that high health? Is 3 high health?
Well, there's a reason. Let's just say there's a reason that that the snare is not more than 1. Although I've heard some people have been trying to heal their snares.
Do it. You should heal your snares.
Wall of shearing winds and spots in its awareness block line of sight. Interesting. Sounds like someone's been in Future League. At the end of the round, Wall of Shearing Winds deals 2 air damage to all combatants on it and in its awareness. So it does not damage itself like Zenith Pulse.
Yeah.
It does damage only to the sides, and it is all. So it is equal.
So we had a question, and I will answer that. Damien asks, is trap swift speed? Yes, on the left side there, you will see the speed at which an ability is played. Trap is its playment cost. Trap means you need to play it onto an occupied spot. Your second question, I believe, was...
Damien's a judge.
I know, Damien's a judge. It's a disappointment.
This is disappointing.
Damien, wanted to be part of the design team. He had to come second place in the last championship. So see what next year.
Second place.
Yeah, that was the deal he made. If he got second place in the championship, he got to become a designer.
Oh, that's why he was sweating against me. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, no, a trap is. I think you could have a heavy trap. But most of them
have an action speed trap.
Most of them work better as a swift speed sort of gotcha moment. How about secret passage? Choose 2 grid squares. Well, you just hold on there, Shockwave.
You go pitch it, Shockwave.
You go pitch it, or maybe it's on here.
Talk about it next week. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I do want to say one thing, just because if you're here listening, let me give you some advice. One of the biggest issues I've had, a lot of people pitched very similar cards to Shearing Wind, or very similar cards to Zenith Pulse. It's a trap. It deals 2 damage to a bunch of things. Try to avoid cards that already exist. That's just going to be my general advice. That's all.
Alex is looking for the new. He can redo.
Yeah.
He can rehash the same thing over again. He can take the same piece of cardboard and put a new name on it. That's half his job. Yeah. He wants something new. He wants something innovative that he can steal and take it as his own.
Exactly.
Summoning Pits. Here we go. Here's something new for you. 10 health. 8 chi. So this better like win you the game, right? Action speed. Create. 15 aura. So you can put this anywhere on the arena. At the start of the round, the owner of Summoning Pits, that's the person who the card sleeves belong to, places the Pain Imp from their subconscious on a spot adjacent to the Summoning Pits.
So one thing that I find very interesting, just one, but what I do like about it is that it currently comes unexerted, which is unique to most summoning things.
Okay.
But I agree with you. We'll see definitely in testing. You can see, because we should state, if you were seeing the card right now, that means it's made its way to Future League.
That is true.
If you don't see your card, it hasn't made it to Future League, or it's still being edited. It's most likely that I wasn't excited enough to edit it. It's probably not there yet, or I haven't looked at it.
Adam, it says places the Pain Imp. You do not have to pay for it. It's sort of assumed in the costing. I like the summoning pits type of thing. I think I can see this down even to like a 6 chi. For if you're getting a 3 chi out, a 6 chi, I know like that's probably not, that's beyond the scale of a pitch contest, right?
I think you're missing about the Pain Imp usually costs life, Will. This is the conversion to aura.
Okay, but there's no cost now.
I'm trolling.
There's no cost.
You gotta cost the summoning pits.
Or at HE, let's push it. Let's get 2 Pain Imps out, right? Let's
2 Pain Imps? Okay, that's
double
fair.
up,
That's
conjure.
fair.
Let's go with this. Let's
That's
make
fair.
some tokens we've seen in Future League, for those of you who are not in Future League, well, you can join us at any time. We do some crazy stuff in there and play with a lot of crazy cards. But we know that in Future League, there are cards that can produce swarms really fast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, sometimes those are still located on the owner's side of the board because they have to advance forward. This one does allow you to put that anywhere. But we know that that swarms are a thing. There's potential. We saw a little bit in Origins. We're seeing some more in Invasions. We can do, we know there's tools to take care of swarms as well. So from their subconscious, yes, the theirs are wrong. Don't look at the grammar. It's Future League. Everything.
Yeah, don't look at grammar. Question from Darren. Alterations don't have owner's rights after they've been put into the arena. So there's a difference. Owner just means the owner of the card. So you can use the term owner. That's referring to the physical owner of the card, you the player, not part of a game piece. They don't have allies. Once they're on the board, they are not an ally to anyone. That's the different line you're looking at there.
So the owner of the summoning places the pain imps, which inherently means that those pain imps are the allies to that player.
Yes, but not allies to the summoning pits.
No.
But here's another warning: if you guys are pitching cards, OS, which is the name of this card, has claimed the alteration for card that creates summons. He was the first one to pitch it. I've had follow-throughs. I've had somebody who's like, alteration that summons Vidudas. I've had somebody that alteration that summons wolves. I'm sorry, it's done. He was first to pitch it.
Was the wolves one the wolf den?
So the wolf one, I'll say, did technically have something more unique. So it's technically has a chance to make it forward, but it's also slightly confusing. And if you confuse me,
again, also shout out to everyone. It's not hard to confuse Alex. Summoning pits. I like this. I really do. I think this is pretty cool. I'm gonna test it out. The beauty about card pitch cards is they are colorless, so you can throw them in whatever deck you want. So, let's see what happens. Next one, Forked Road. Better pronounce that one correctly. Swift, create 14 aura for a 4G, 8 health. Woo, hefty.
It's a road. How you killing a road very easily?
Well, it depends. I don't have to kill it if it doesn't do anything broken. But
exactly.
While on Forked Road, all spots around Forked Road count as adjacent for movement. I could totally see a player being like, okay, I'm going to play a Forked Road. Next turn, I'm going to move. I'm going to play a Forked Road. I'm going to move. And then they're surrounded.
Surrounded by forked roads?
No, surrounded by their opponent because they've spent 2 turns trying to move on diagonal. Now, I will say moving on diagonal and then doing something on the next turn, I think that could be very cool. It is a swift create, so you could do this at the end of a turn, end of the round.
Yeah.
My gut feeling is that it might be a little costly just to give you an extra movement. But
I agree.
It is a 4G.
I agree.
It is a 4G. Again, these are not things that we're concerned with, right? Like this is Alex and I nitpicking on stuff that doesn't really matter to the pitch contest. You're more just worried about getting the cards, getting them tested.
No, so I think it doesn't give you extra movement at all. It just allows you to move to that extra spot.
But allows you to move diagonally.
Yeah. Which is like an extra movement. Yeah. That's why I feel like it might be a little bit too costly there, but testing will prove and adjust numbers if it makes it through.
And the last one so far, Ritual of the Worm.
This is a returning pitch from a while ago, I believe.
Now, if it's returning, that's fine. But we know that there is a better worm out there these days than the JC Olgi Kokori. We got new worms. They're here to stay. Much better. It's called the Emergent Worm. So this card wins. If it said Emergent Worm, it'd be hands down. Vote.
Would you rather have an Emergent Worm on the board than an Olgi Kokori?
Well, the Emergent Worm still enters the arena, so yeah, I want that trigger. Okay, 5 health. 6 chi. Ritual of the Worm. Alteration. 10 aura. So that's huge. That's already a bonus to okay.
Yep.
As Resident Scheming Skeleton defined the card as okay. It saved us a lot of grief. At the end of the round, if a summon was killed on the same spot as Ritual of the Worm, place an Olgi Kakore from your subconscious on the same spot as the Ritual of the Worm, facing the same direction as you, then exert the Olgi Kakore and kill the Ritual of the Worm.
So I enjoy this card, but I wish it didn't kill itself. That's all.
Ooh. You just want like free 3/5s coming down?
Oh yeah,
if something's
engine.
killed.
It's only one a turn. It's one around. You also gotta play a summon. You gotta kill said summon.
Yeah. I could just see down the road though. I'm sure there's gonna be summons that will kill themselves. And you can just like walk this on. I walk. Oh, my summon has killed itself. Boom! It turned into a worm.
What's wrong with that? Who doesn't like worms? Okay, maybe we need to, maybe
Well,
if we bring it
it's also
back to an
a crit.
emergent worm, then it's a much smaller worm.
Oh boy, here we go. Piggybacking on the first card you brought up, Commanding Heights, what if all your attacks and abilities now count as ranged in the awareness? Adding that to the text would definitely be an upgrade to the card.
Yeah.
If you already have a ranged attack, it would still, like, if you change your awareness, right? So if Malik changes his awareness to that Commanding Heights one, and he does his heavy attack for 2 health, it could hit any target in that new awareness because it's his awareness. Call of the Bones.
I would agree with the Kami. Might be themed better because if you're in like a height spot, you probably should have a range attack if you're firing. Might be a better thing for thematically.
Now, let's thematics. We know that we've already had this discussion. We don't know what that could
be. It could be a giant teddy bear that you're standing on.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You are also one of the people who said, "Oh well, if it's 2 spaces away, it doesn't have to be a range attack."
It does not have to have a range attack. No, I agree.
I know that's what you said.
I agree.
I am on the other end. If it's 2 spaces away, how am I hitting if it's not ranged?
Really long weapons.
Okay. How big are our squares in Genesis?
Have you seen the Pelorapha? Its head. It can only hit where its head is.
Yeah, because it's attached to his body. And that's also not we've gone away with that name now, by the way. It's now Draftbird.
Draftbird? Okay.
Draftbird. Really, really long spear. Do we actually know what the dimensions of the arena are? Like, what is like a square of our playmat is actually how much space?
I don't remember the numbers.
Ooh, we should get an encyclopedia of all of the animals and have masses and heights and their their dietary restrictions. That would be great. Like a Pokedex.
Oh, jeez.
All right, those are some great pitches. I think there's some really unique ones. A lot of great takes. We'll see. So it's alterations all week.
Alterations all the way till next Monday.
So we'll finish up alterations next Tuesday, and then they'll be on to the next one.
Yeah, we'll be finishing alterations, and we'll be looking at techniques. Should pull up this thing up and look at it.
For all of you who have just joined us or joined us recently, as you can see, Alex's internet is on fire and just working so well because he did it. He found the cable, he plugged it in, and he is on up-to-date, actual, regular, normal people speeds of internet. Congrats!
Yeah, so 9th to the 15th, which is the Sunday, is alterations. Once it takes over to the 16th, we have techniques for a week.
Sounds good. Techniques are some of the hardest things I remember when I've tried pitching stuff, because there's a lot of techniques already and they are fairly similar, right? And trying to wrap your head around, okay, if I'm paying cards for this, what am I getting back, and how do I make this like, because again, if you want that flavor, you're doing something, it's supposed to be physical type of thing, but
when it comes to techniques, I think the best way to go about it is find your favorite anime, your favorite TV show, your favorite comic book movement, movie moment and base your card around that moment. Is how I find it's much easier to design a technique card. Because otherwise, you could just, every technique could just be a punch.
So I want Captain America's shield to hit every single summon.
Yeah.
And then come back to me.
Exactly.
Nice. Perfect. Done. All right. We have a few other things to discuss. Is there anything else on the pitch contest you wanted to talk about?
Nope. Send in your pitches.
Oh, if only we could swear. That'd be a great way to finish that off. Send in your pitches. Never mind. I'll tell you later. You missed it. It went over your head.
You want to pitch some champions? You gotta win a championship.
What about? Ooh, you do have to win a championship.
You gotta win a championship.
Sid Williams has a champion coming in, and I'm sure we'll see someday Ollie's champion from winning the last championship. So excited to see what those look like. All right, so I'm going to close this down. We are going to yeah, we'll do that at the end. Let's go to the Genesis webpage. Why is that the same one? There we go. Genesis webpage. Boom. Online. If you haven't been to the webpage, they've been starting to update and do a lot of things. Some of the community members have been vocal about how they need to keep up to date and how this is one of their main parts of advertising and what people are drawn to. So loving all the changes and seeing how things are being done. There are a lot of things on here, and I have a few things I get to spoil tonight with Alex, and we can talk about them for the last half of our show. They are not live, but I guess if you're quick with you could probably grab the link. But I'm not sure if I'm supposed to hide it. I guess I'll
no, you're fine.
I'll hide it.
We don't care.
I can hide it.
No, don't hide it.
Don't hide it? Okay.
I
won't hide it. Alex says don't hide it. So the webpage, first of all, I want to shout out for the webpage. We have down here, we have our, this is kind of where the newest things get updated. We have the card pitch contest, as I already talked about. We have your local game store. If you're trying to get connected, this is a great way to get started for them to go to. Weekly awareness. This is something that's going to be coming down from HCG. Has some communication, things that are happening, et cetera, et cetera. Lots of fun things there. However, the first thing I want to talk to, because it was spoiled on Heads or Tails, one side of the coin last Thursday, is the downloads.
The downloads. I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest.
Don't know what you're talking about? Well, have you ever seen a piece of art and you'd be like, hey, that would make a cool wallpaper for my computer? And then you're like, well, the cool thing that I want is on a YouTube video. So I'm just going to make the YouTube video full screen, and then I'm going to screen capture it with the YouTube bar at the bottom. And I'm going to slap that on my webpage. And now I have a timestamp and a YouTube time bar. But not anymore. We have actual real life wallpapers. We have some 1080p for those still in that era. We have the 4K for those in that era. And we have mobile. We have Proteus. We have Angel of Revenge, which we found out is from McHale. Awesome art. Also Angel, right? We've seen this trend coming along. We have the Bolt Shot by Leslie Ann, and we have Damian's beautiful Alim, which some people never knew what the bottom of Alim looked like.
The flower.
Yeah. This was, I believe the inspiration was a little bit Black Lotus, a little bit of draw and stuff like that from Magic, right? So pretty cool. Beautiful artwork. Really love Alim. Bolt Shot, great. Angel Revenge. So yeah, this is pretty crazy. Can you tell us anything about this card, Alex, or no?
I can't see what you're looking at.
I'm looking at Angel of Revenge. I'm looking at a reddish dark black with a hole in its chest. Apparently it's an angel, not like the Angel of Retribution. It has 2 arms but split into 2, or is it 4 arms?
So it's like
it's split at the elbow,
4
right?
Arms up. Wait,
why are we trying to mimic this with our own hands? It's not going to work.
Well, like this.
Yeah. All right, 4 hands.
It's got 4 hands.
No.
What can I tell you about it?
What can you say? Yeah.
What can I say about it? It's a 7G.
Ooh, 7G. Okay.
And it does not get happy when its allies are hurt.
Wait a second. Wasn't the last Angel of Justice was also the 7
It was.
Interesting. Very cool. So yeah, that was a spoiled piece of artwork. Lots of little things finding there. Wallpapers, Proteus. Also, there's the merchandise. If you hadn't seen that, they did add a new T-shirt, which I was surprised to see. That wasn't there on the first time around, so that's really cool. Can I show that? Sure.
Sure, go for it. I don't know if it's a new T-shirt that Sid's been talking to me about, or it's a different one. So there might be another T-shirt coming.
So this is the T-shirt. This is Damian Satir as a T-shirt. Very cool. I like how it's not just a square art plastered onto a T-shirt. I really appreciate that some actual like design and edging is used so that we can actually like see that it's not just a square picture. And this is Satir with the spear in the background. Very, if my wife and I weren't doing a no spend January, I would probably buy this T-shirt, but this is gonna have to wait till
no spend January, eh?
Yeah,
so you're saying I can start teasing you and offer you things, but you won't be allowed to buy them?
Really don't. Please don't. It's already bad enough. But we've been doing that since the kids were born. On Christmas, we kind of, December we can spend, and then we take a month off to sort of recoup some of that expense. So
I was thinking about, well, I could probably let the Sky go for really cheap, but only if it's in January.
Just in January. No. January discount. There's some other merch on here as well to check out. Cups if you want that. Some old championship stuff. The other championship Tsunami T-shirt if you want. Also a really cool embroidered one for more like a professional look, as well as some of the actual artwork there as well. So really cool to see some of the merchandise. Some people we've been asking for some merchandise like this for a while, so I'm really excited that they're finally putting in. Nope, Shockwave, it's not actually for sale. Get off.
If Shockwave wants to buy in January, I'm gonna have to give it to him. Will
he's already getting closer and closer to my level of collection, and Steve-O's, and Steve-O's still way ahead, and you're still way ahead too. But he's encroaching real fast.
I'm not ahead. I gave up most of my collections. I have no epics.
Really?
From any of the sets. Yeah, I help people finish their sets. I trade them off for people who want to get them.
Alex is just the giving soul.
I only care about crushing people in game.
But
I just need the
regular
version.
We'll talk about the Tavern Brawlers and how Mr. Alex here snuck into that championship. And I was like, oh, I'll join this free championship. It'll be light and easy. Alex is there. All right, some spoilers. Store championship complete details. So let's go through this. As mentioned from one of the postings, there's going to be a push towards the store championship, where you can basically at your local game store compete, and we have an alternate art of the Angel of Retribution done by, I had to zoom in to find out who did this, which I can do as well. Go in real close, real in there. That's really fuzzy, but if you go on your own, you'll find out that it is Leslie Ann's anime Angel of Retribution. Really, really cool. So, winner of the store championship event will receive a custom mat that is branded with the logo of that store. Also, the top 4 from each championship event will get exclusive alternate art, anime style Angel of Retribution promo. Super, super cool. Special mats are something that we've seen other games do to a great effect. We've also seen a lot of great, things happening with alternate arts. Angel of Retribution, I think, is a great one coming off of the championship. So, yeah, this is a lot of great information. Steve-O ran a championship before, a store champion, as he called it.
Store champion.
I think it was over 2 months or something like that, and I missed a number of times, and then pretty much I was so far behind that I kind of just gave up. But I think it's really cool. I think it's kind of it's interesting. Now, the big thing is that I don't see here, and again, if you can't answer this, you can't answer it.
Go for it.
Is this what is replacing the circuits?
No. So this I can say at least easily this. So this is essentially supposed to be and this may be wrong because we might push it back an extra month. It was supposed to be run for January, February, March, but because it came out in January, I don't know if we're moving it back from February, March, April or not.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be the first 3 months.
Okay.
Before we get into the circuits, which will be happening.
So this is separate, but then maybe a test run for something similar to the circuits, or testing, how does this work with like some of this, again, receiving a custom mat or custom art, like how do you plan for this, right? How many of these anime angels are going to get printed? How many events are we going to be running? It's this, like, there's a bunch of questions that I think are still left to be determined, but like, I assume if this is a single, like, are we looking at like a 4-print angel, or is it going to be something that might be used again later? Again, I don't know if you can answer that.
I don't think you would see this version printed again. Definitely this full art version. I would not expect to see it printed again.
Okay. Very cool. So the website continues to go on with how to register game stores. Again, you want to get them in touch with Haunted Castle Gaming Direct, which is the new program or incentive to go directly to Haunted Castle. And there's a link there to go to. Some of the options here, I mean, it's not a great showcase with this aspect, but the idea is that you could, for that artwork for that mat, you don't have to make it an arena, which I think is an amazing idea. We get it. We play in an arena. But having some of this other artwork on the mat blown up to this scale, I think is really cool. And this one even suggests having potentially 2 artworks, one on either side. I think we saw this on the German circuit, right? Where they were able to mash the 2 artworks, and it looked really, really clean, really, really nice.
What 2 artworks would you do, Will?
Actually, probably these 2. Funny enough, would be a Brook and this. Or there was back when I was doing some streaming, I had contacted Jeff. I always thought that if you could manipulate the coloring of Bolt Shot and have it like down here, and then have Holy Wall up here, and you like directed them at each other, you could actually make it like one piece of artwork where like the Bolt Shot's going into the Holy Wall, but then being deflected over. But that was just a discussion, and it never really came through. So come to Forbes, the players are mediocre, better chances to win. That's not true. We know there's a lot of great players at Forbes. A lot of great players. Yeah, it doesn't say you can't go to different stores, right?
No, you can go to multiple stores. Yeah.
Nice. So I guess that kind of explains this too, right? So if we have 30 stores at 4 copies each, or 2 stores at 4 copies each, so this might be a pretty limited thing to get a hold of, and it's definitely pretty cool. Like the blown up version here, very different style from her other art style, but yeah, I mean, more Leslie Ann art and in the anime style, I think is fantastic. So
for sure,
for players, everything will be on Geo. We still need to hear from Kenny. 2023, is Kenny fixing Geo?
I don't know if Kenny's alive. I haven't heard from him for a while.
All right, Kenny, if you're watching this, tell us, how is Geo going? Have you fixed all of our Geo woes? Have you confirmed that it's now the best operating software to run this event off? We believe in you, Kenny. We believe. I can't see the chat right now, so hopefully.
There was a couple messages came in. Ouch, Damien. Seems odd that you don't win then, though. We were trained by Damien. Says Penji at Forbes. Exactly.
Nice.
Love it. Hey, all from the Cardboard Core hosts.
Yeah, cardboard. Nice. All right, so lastly, live streaming. So this will be great as well great for Haunted Castle Gaming to get out some live streaming that's not through the Discord or not connected that way, and also get some store recognition and all those things. So I'm excited to see. Hopefully, these are not all happening the same week, and I can get to a couple different ones. But I'm excited to see what comes from this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then, what time is it? 1:45? Okay, a couple more things. Last thing is we got confirmation that we can share this, and it's a new program or incentive, and that is going to be the Genesis Battle of Champions.
For you guys. I've been pushing this for 2 years.
All right. You want to? Okay, you take it then.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go
No,
no,
you
no.
gotta read the
You know
thing.
what? Go
I can't
ahead.
see what you
All
see.
you.
I can't see what you got on the screen, so you still gotta read the pages.
Perfect. I just need to take a drink, so I need you to speak for a bit. So there's no dead air. uh Genesis Battle of Champions Hall of Fame. Let's celebrate those who have gone above and beyond to show their love for Genesis as a game and part of our history. And we have in here the championship winners. Steve-O 2019, the first championship winner, beat Alex. Sid 2021, because we missed 2020 because of COVID. Sid Williams beat Ruben Baker. And then we have Oliver, our latest champion and newest champion, 2022, from the Germany team, we representing there on the t-shirt, beating Raymond Chow with for this year. So those are our 3 current champions, all with that trophy. Beautiful. That's awesome. I think it's great to showcase this and have this as a unique page for people to see. So much joy and love in their eyes after a long day of Genesis. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting, because I thought that may have been what it was, but we keep going down and we have Set Collectors Hall of Fame. Have you completed collecting an entire set of Genesis or all? Or do you have those? We want to show you a special bonus to show off your completed collection. Each set will give you a different bonus promo with a special treatment never before seen on a Genesis card. This is going to be a Genesis card, and it will be a special treatment of the actual looking of the card. But it will be a unique, individualized, or not, I'm not sure individualized, but like unique form or way to representing these cards or this. Yeah. So we have Alpha, J, Raise, J2, Origins Kickstarter, Origins Retail as the options. You notice that Beta's gone, but they have a little note here. They've already got you because you pretty much got a beta set out of a box. So everyone gets a free promo. So they're not doing beta. I mean, it sucks that that's how that happened. Again, I was not really in control at that point. It was just more of a communication thing at that point. But
yeah,
we do have the Alpha here. So an Alpha set will get you a special unique Oni. Pretty cool because that's the... Although we did find out, didn't we, Alex, that there is
a beta Oni.
There are beta Onis out there, everybody.
Very rare beta Onis.
I don't know how many. We don't know where to get them from, but apparently there are beta Onis, and I think we only one confirmed. And someone, whoever got that or purchased that or whatever.
So I thought it was from eBay when the person said, "Oh, I got it at an auction."
I think it's the auction.
But so it was at the championship auction. There was a beta set given from Sid, and it came in that.
A beta set?
It was like I don't know, a beta something.
No, there was an Oni. There was an Oni deck, an Oni starter deck that was provided on the auction. I thought that's what it was.
It may have been that,
but it was a beta printing of it, and it came in a full like borderless. Like this is a 1 of 1 currently that I know of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ask Steve-O if he has one. Probably. He probably does.
I don't know if he does. Steve, if you're watching this later, you have to message me and see if you have any of these beta full art borderless Onis. It's wild. I don't know what happened, but it's on the Discord. It's physical. It's there. They have it. They're right. Like,
yeah.
Anyways, welcome to Jay Raha. Why Raha? Because that's the one that won the championship. Raise, why Kun? Because Kun won the championship. And J2, why J2? Because I guess that was the last full set, and that was the last championship. So 3 championships, 3 winners, all in the same colors. Does Genesis have a problem?
Not enough people playing other colors. That's the reason.
Origins Kickstarter Safar. Again, that's coming from the secret rare that we had in the Kickstarter, as well as that Kickstarter party drawing that happened. Really cool. You can see it up here. And then we have Proteus, which we saw on the wallpapers or at the championship, is the secret rare in the retail. What is in a completed set? So it's all champion variants. That includes all A and B sides, as well as the 2 arts, if there are some. So Rays and Jalara, there were 4 of each.
Mhm.
All affiliation cards, so that's your Thymals, your Bellums, your Axons, your Chaos, and your Phages. All epic rares, which is usually some different form of the rares. All tokens and aura cards, which is rough because I threw out a lot of these. And all foils, including secrets. Wow. All foils, including secrets, has to be part of a complete set. What a feat. This excludes the extra foil / promos added during the Origins retail. That's the accidental adding of those.
Those are not supposed to be part of the set, so you do not need them to be considered a complete set.
Now, are the tokens and aura cards really part of the set? I know in the old sets they were numbered into the set. But are they like the, you know, the like tell me about Chaos card, or tell me about how to play the game?
I would agree that they're not part of the base set. But as the collector, if you were collecting all products from whatever, Rays, you would need to have all of that to be considered everything from that product.
I don't know if I did throw out a lot of that stuff. I don't know if I have that. Now that I'm reading this.
Now it's back to your time to, go collect some tokens and aura cards.
Well, if that's the case, then I definitely don't have an alpha set. Because I don't have any of that from alpha. Does alpha have token slot?
Alpha doesn't have tokens.
Okay.
They do have auras, I think, but not tokens.
Oh, okay. Then we might be good. We might be okay. Because the beta doesn't matter, and I threw out a lot of beta. Not the cards, just the tokens, because I didn't care. J Rays J2, I think I smartened up after I bought a few collections and kept some of that stuff. Origins Kickstarter, I didn't collect foils, and Origins retails, I've barely opened any. So, I opened a bunch, but I didn't get a lot of the foils. So it's going to be this is these two here, the Origins ones, pretty tricky, and maybe even J2 a little bit, but because of the
what is missing on this, because I did get confirmation, for in order to get a J2 set, you may either have a full set of first printing epics or second printing epics. You don't have to have both.
What if you have both? Do you have a special version?
You submit both, Will, and I will give you a special something.
Oh boy. It's getting warm here. Current collectors, as the community begins to show their collections, will celebrate their achievements, posting their names. So you'll get embroidered or embolized on here. So that's pretty cool. How does it work? Once you've completed a set, you can send your whole collection to us at the address. We'll inspect each card. If they appear authentic, we'll mark the back of each card to prove that they are part of the same collection, and we'll ship your collection and promo card back to you at this point. So this is where you lost me. But before we went live, you had sort of explained why you have to do this.
So, as I said, this is a project that I've been working on for a long time. If you do not mark them in any way, there is nothing stopping a person from just handing their collection over to a friend, then that friend showing it to us, because assumably rather than marking it, you just have to show us the collection, and then they would get the special promo card. And then they could trade it to another friend, and then they could show it to us at a later date, and they would get a special promo card. At the end of the day, you, person A, not you, Will, would just still have your full set, not lost anything. But now these really rare collector cards, which we want to give out to those hardcore collectors,
right,
is now given out to random people just because they traded and passed stuff along, right? That's the same thing. Like, somebody really works hard, they collect the set, they get the special card, and then just trade their set off. They're like, I got my special card, I'm done. And they trade out their whole set to somebody. We don't want that set coming back to us again.
Right. Which was foreign to me, but I can see how that could be a thing that people could try to do, right? Now,
so in the sports cards world, they actually have stickers on the cards. Obviously, we can't do that because if we put stickers on the cards, it ruins them as game pieces. But if we mark them with just, let's just say a marker, or let's just say invisible ink on the back of a card, then it doesn't affect them as play pieces. Since the ruling is you have to wear sleeves, you have to put sleeves on your cards. The only thing it stops is the recollections of the same cards.
Now, does marking it this way would it, if you wanted to sell the collection later, you'd have to make that known that they have been.
You'd have to make it known, but if you already had the full collection and you're like selling it off as a collector piece, assuming you're giving that collector card to,
right,
it doesn't really make much sense.
Okay.
In that way.
So on the back of the card, we're gonna say, Alex was here or something like that. Is that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It'll probably be something very simple. It'll probably like a dot, a very tiny dot.
Right. To showcase that it was captured.
Checked. Jamie said an interesting thing. He said, my top 16 Obelisk has a kit sticker. One of the options we had was putting stickers on them, but I feel like I don't know. What is your thought? If we put stickers on the cards, because that's what Sid wanted to do. He wanted to put a sticker on the back of the card. I feel like that's worse. Because if you wanted to remove a sticker, definitely people would attempt to remove stickers, then you might actually damage your card.
I think either way, if you mark it, like, I guess there's something people could be, over the mindset, like you're actually writing on the card, you're defacing the card, but the sticker could be something a little more official. Either way, if you try to get rid of it, you're going to destroy the card. You probably couldn't get it graded unless this authentication is part of the MNT process, and they know about it. The collection, I mean, you're, at least for me, I can only speak for myself. Like, if I were to do this and get it done, I'm not playing with these cards to begin with, right? They literally
that's the thoughts, right?
They're just sitting.
It's
right
your binder
here.
Collection.
Yeah.
This is look how you're proud of the hard work you did to get that collection.
Yeah, and they're sitting in sleeves, and they're not, they're for display, for looking at or watching, like taking, like going through and enjoying. I don't play with them. That's what this stuff over here is for. But yeah, I don't know. It's a toss up. I mean, in that mindset, I wouldn't care if it was a sticker. Like if it was something official, being like HCG approved or HCG MNT. What, like, is this tied into the grading company that you're linked with, or not really?
Not specifically. I'm not saying we couldn't look at that. So I just love to hear everybody. Would you rather have a sticker than a marker dot on the back of a card?
We seem to have a
There's a bit of a split.
Yeah, bit of
Andrew.
Split.
Andrew definitely likes the marker. Darren just saying no way. I don't think he wants anything.
Hey, you're not forced to do it, Darren.
You're not forced to do it.
They're being written on. Okay. Hey, a signature. Oh, that's
signature. So writing,
writing.
Well, that's the thing too. If actually a signature's not bad because that can be authenticated. If we do a signature on every card.
Mm-hmm.
Invisible ink. So invisible ink's the interesting one. The only reason why I like invisible ink as an idea, but I can see people trading their cards and other people not knowing they have invisible ink versions.
Ink versions. There we go. And now we're just getting a stamp. So yeah, I think now that I've been thinking about and seeing some of the suggestions, I kind of like an official stamp, something that's always the same, or something that could make it so that it look like it's actually gone through a process. Yeah. I am also, the MNT was there, and I thought about getting something graded. Like I think I have different things that I want to get graded. Like I have my duplicates of some of these cards that I would get for grading, and then I have my like, I honestly don't touch these for playing. Like some of them may have been played back in the day, but I'm pretty sure I've replaced everything with the freshest or best looking card, right? So it's really just there for a collection. But it is 8:00. So I know that, Alex, you have some other things to get to. couple of things just to shout out to kind of close up and wrap up. Tavern Brawlers have started their monthly league. Alex and I are both in it, unbeknownst to each other. But that's going to be awesome. It's free. You can join in. It's closed for January. We hit 16 people. But I'm sure February will roll around. Will be another opening, and I'm sure some people will stay, some people will go. There'll be a rotation, but really, really cool for some content being produced by Tavern Brawlers. Hopefully some of this will get streamed on the Tavern Brawlers Discord. Most of it is being run through Tavern Brawlers Discord, and I'm sure there's some links that you can get from some of the announcements that have been made. Also, a shout out to some of our other content creators that are doing stuff. Scheming Skeleton is back doing some of his lore videos and talking about other TCGs, but he has a soft spot for Genesis, one of his favorites. Heads or tails, and they're one side of the coin. They are, amidst all the stuff in chaos at the store, they are still trying to put out content. They've been one of the Genesis only, or Genesis majority of their content is Genesis for a long, long time, and they do a lot of great work for the community. So check out some of their work. I'm sure I'm going to be missing a few. Shockwave, I mentioned earlier, looks at sort of more of the market stuff and opens and shares some of his collection when he gets pieces. I know we had MTG Nerd Girl sometimes talks about Genesis, but again, very heavily on the Magic stuff. Is there anyone I'm missing that you think that's been doing some stuff recently?
No, not too sure. One more reminder we wanted to state, I don't know if we have the picture of the organized play for the month. We're very bad at advertising that there are different promos for organized play each month. This month is Low Blow.
Definitely don't have that, but we could quickly pull that up.
It's in your topics.
Yeah, I'm not going to add that there. I'm just going to go back to here. I'm going to go to retail. I'm going to go to organized play. Boom. Everything's right here. So we had the Death Eaters, Rope Tornadoes, Gargantuan Rabbits, Low Blows, Precise Thrust, and Hellchasm are the ones upcoming.
So this month is Low Blow.
This month is Low Blow. Borderless, uncommon. That's what they're doing. Last month, yeah, I don't think I have this one, and I don't think I have this one either. I think I stopped at the Death Eaters. But yeah, Low Blow is the current one right now. So
fair enough.
Cool.
We should reach out to Steve. He's got some extras from winning last couple of December.
The events every time. Nice.
He's been on a good roll recently, even though he'll never say he is. He always thinks he's terrible.
Or you're slipping, Alex. You're slipping.
Oh no, I'm not slipping.
It's the downfall.
Impossible. We'll see when I meet you in the Tavern Brawlers event.
Oh, dude, I have my deck. I'm playing Erica, so I'm just having fun.
I'm playing Alta.
Ooh, the same one from the weekend?
I don't know. It was going to be. It did fine. It did 2 in a draw. It's not a bad record. And we just ran out of time, but
you can change it as well. That's one of the cool things. Yeah. You select a champion that you're sort of stuck with for the month, but you can adjust and change things as you go throughout that month. And yeah, it's really awesome. It's you meet up during the week, you play a couple games. Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. Newbie night on Sunday nights. We have draft nights on Mondays, although they're not really firing every Monday, but we usually try to get the word out to do that. We have Future League on Fridays. There's content everywhere and happening. Check out Instagram, Facebook. Go to the webpage. Things are being updated there. I'll reach out to Kenny to try to get an announcement or some sort of update on Geo because we know he's been putting some work in on that. There's a lot of stuff happening. 2023 starting off really exciting. Invasions, I assume spoilers are going to be coming down in a month or two, so looking forward to all of these things happening. So anything else from you, Alex?
I just want to answer Okami's last question. Who is Zafar? I can't find it in the card database. It was a super secret rare that only is available in the Origins Kickstarter.
Nobody knows.
It's not legal for play. Nobody knows yet. Nobody knows what it does.
You just know that it's
only I do. It's a rabbit champion.
Wait, why would you know what it does, Alex?
I don't know why.
Yeah, why would you know? So far, it's just been an art piece. Why would you know what it does?
Oh,
what?